already in this call of like 6 or 7 minutes, 3 leads just on this call.
All right, Ken, you mind introducing yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Ken Savage, founder, owner of LaunchClub.ai. We're a Reddit platform that does marketing for you to improve AI search.
Awesome. Yeah, we've been working with Ken for, I think, just over 5 months now. Over that time, I think I was looking at the dashboard today, generated about 327 leads, including you were just mentioning that little campaign that we did for the holidays for like a new offer. Do you want to go into a bit of detail on that?
Yeah, it's basically, we are a premium service, a couple $1,000s a month to start, and it goes up from there. The companies that I talk to or companies that come to me and say, can you help me, but we're on a budget? I didn't have a solution before, now I do. We have a downsell of just $250, but you guys have been handling all email because I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the infrastructure to generate those leads or do any kind of outreach. So I said, can you guys reach out to people who haven't booked a call with us and offer this to them? You ran it, and we made 9 sales just over the holiday break. So very happy with it so far, and it's extremely early. So
yeah, a little extra money through the door there. And like before you got started with us, what were you doing with outbound or lead gen on your side?
Ran a few ads on Meta, all platforms, didn't work. Spent maybe $1,000, very little clicks, 0 sales, 0 bookings, call bookings or anything like that. So I knew that's not the way we're going to go with this, at least with the ads that I was running. And they were like, hello, my name is Ken, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. And that's not going to work. Or people don't care. So don't do those. Email outreach would probably be a good thing. I've had a good amount of client base over the last 6 years now. But how do I reach? I've never reached out to them. So how do I do that? Learned a little bit about cold outreach, DM outreach, that kind of thing, and realized that this is not my specialty. Who can do it? Who can build these infrastructures? Who knows the copywriting? And I didn't just find you. You were recommended by somebody else who was having a great experience with you. And I said, well, if it works for you, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll reach out to Mitchell and talk to those guys. And we talked once, and I was like, clearly these guys are the experts. Let's see if it works. And then after a couple of weeks, I started getting leads, through Slack immediately. Plenty of interest. Started getting calls booked. And then when people start closing business with me, clearly this is just a big check. This works, and let's just keep it going. And what's it been, like 5 or 6 months now we've been working together? So
yeah, I think we're just entering month 6, and I think like your first closed deal came through in exactly 8 days. I remember writing it down. I saw you ping me in the channel, which was wild. Mm-hmm. Especially because like you're in your circumstance, like you mentioned, you had ads, you're running other things, but you didn't quite crack the code on turning like a stranger into a customer. So on the process side, we basically took you from 0 to 1. Would you agree? Like we tested your offer.
Yeah, I was not doing anything before. And when I tried to make an offer to people, it was way too wordy. It was I was telling them long stories, as you know. And you were like, just get to the offer. And that was difficult for me. When you guys started copywriting that, and I started using some of that scripting in my calls, it went from 30-minute, 40-minute calls to 10-minute calls with everything I needed to say and the offer, and I get an answer from them. I've been very patient. Is this something that you think would be valuable to you? And I would just listen, and they would tell me what they thought, and they would make a decision. Where before I was like, okay, good, that's good, but let me tell you about this and this and this and this. It was just too much. I was getting in my own way. Took a little bit of advice from you. Wouldn't you know it, it worked.
Yeah, have you been using that gap analysis at all, or did you check? I think you checked a couple sales scripts with it, right, off the rip.
Yeah, it was helpful, but I have not implemented it 100%, and I'm already seeing benefits. So I'm okay with that. But I am a one person with a few developers and contractors. I can only do a certain amount per day, per week. So
Yeah.
baby steps, we're getting there. And, last month was my highest revenue. The month before that was my highest revenue. So we are growing, and these aren't small numbers. I started this just a couple of years ago, and we were very small a year ago still. Today we're big, and, we're getting more referrals and people that said, hey, you talked to me, or we talked a year ago, or you sent me 4 emails and I never responded to you, but now I'm ready. So all those seeds that we planted out there are now flowering and, wanting to talk or just get a little bit of information. And like we were talking offline, there's things I can do with VSLs, pre-qualifying people, getting them interested before we even talk. And then when we talk, getting right to it, direct marketing, like you said. Don't tell stories forever.
Direct response, yeah. I think the most surprising thing for us is that we had a working formula. I mean, you had a great lead magnet to start, so we were able to lean on that. But nowadays, we're like our winningest campaign, what we're calling like stealth offers here at Lead Grow, the ones you have to find, not kind of create yourself. It actually isn't using the lead magnet anymore. It's more so teasing the idea of the lead magnet and simply aligning with the current investment structure they have. So as we were talking offline, that's something you can definitely start to apply to your sales calls and the rest of your go-to-market. And what this does is it sets the tone. I think you were mentioning to my partner Aiden that close rates had gone up as well. So booking rates went up, close rates went up, and it's because the tone is no longer that you're here to give something for free. It's here's this free thing, but the main proposition is that I can help you enhance an investment you're already making. And so we're calling that worldview alignment, but I was shocked to see how big of a difference we were seeing from literal free thing to not offering free thing, but getting way better, like bottom of funnel results.
People that want to talk a deal or,
yeah,
okay, cool. It sounds like you can help me. Let's talk about the numbers. What's this going to cost me? What do you need from me kind of thing? And already in this call of like 6 or 7 minutes, 3 leads just on this call. So all of them are, lead growth. So how can you, I can't complain. I'm
That's
very
hilarious.
happy with how it's working. Literally 3 leads. So
2 bookings as well, actually. That is really good timing. Good timing. Anyway,
Great
Ken,
timing.
is there anything that you would want to change about the service? Anything we can do better in the future? And would you recommend us to anyone else?
Absolutely recommend you to everyone who's looking for a done-for-you service. Basically, you do the outreach, and you have been very helpful with little things that, as a solopreneur or a very small business, I don't think about or don't have time for, where I can just take what you're telling me, plug it in, and see if it's going to work very quickly. Most of the time, it does work. So I mean, that has been the biggest thing for me. Not only are you just bringing leads, booking calls for me, you're giving me those little nuggets of information that I can plug in, like the VSL, like down sales, like other offers. I'll get there. I write them down, transcribe, everything gets transcribed. I write them down, I put them on my whiteboards, and I say, this is the things I need to do this week, this month, and they get done.
That's awesome.
We're growing, so something's working.
I gotta say, that's honestly why we love working with leaner teams, is because like passionate founders are the best people to work with. Like change can happen quickly. When we were working with like, multi-billion-dollar funded companies, one thing like a VSL will take 2 quarters to implement, and that's not the velocity we want to work at. But yeah, thanks for taking the time, Ken. We'll cut it off there before we both start rambling to infinity, because that's our thing. Okay. And yeah, let's keep crushing it.
Sounds good.